you? Sophia Soto with the Nerds of Color, and it is a huge pleasure to speak with you, especially about the show. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.
Of course. So, George, I just want to start with you because I'm someone who grew up watching TV with my father, and I really love the whole father-daughter dynamic. So I'm curious, can you talk to me about what it means to you to add your daughter as a co-star in this, as a partner in this? I mean, it makes it feel so much more authentic when I'm watching it, when I'm talking about it.
Oh man, there's been a lot of things that have happened to me that are tough to explain, but the idea that your only child would be the person that you would share a show with on a network that I watched, and all my heroes were on NBC, and Sanford and Son was. I used to watch Sanford and Son with Maya, and and to be in that time spot, there's so many bad things that can happen to a person, but if you concentrate and manifest things that you believe are possible, I think anything is possible. I think this show is an example of how something can be dark, and if a person is willing to change their mind and open their thoughts to new things, that everything is possible.
Yeah. Selenis, I'm curious for you, what made you want to join the project when you heard about it?
Oh, it's not too shabby to be working with George Lopez. I mean, that's not NBC, George Lopez. There were a couple of things that was like, this is kind of like what I want to do. I also wanted to dive into comedy. After doing dramatic roles for so long, I felt like I wanted to be challenged in another area. And that's the beauty of what we do as artists, that we're able to hopefully tap into different genres and learn and continue learning. And this is a challenge for me. It's not every day I get up and I'm like, poof, okay, here we go. We're going to try to do this again and hopefully get better at it. I'm learning. Every day is a learning experience because I'm blessed enough to be surrounded by icons, in comedy and the writer's room, these people and our producers like Bruce. I mean, it is literally like, if this is a dream, do not wake me up, because I'm going to be very upset if I wake up and I'm still doing drama somewhere. I'm going to be really pissed off.
I think the fact that we chose to do it in front of a live audience and
Yes.
to make that possible when it wasn't necessarily easy, I think is also a thing that would benefit the show and benefit the actors as well, because it's more a bit of theater. And then, the audiences that are, new to coming back. And for some actors, the first time. And then for me to know that was the strength of the first show, was the fact that people loved the show, and then they loved me, and they would come and see the other characters that, these people are so in love with the idea of this family and the idea of this show going forward, that it's inspiring to us.
I'm Latina, so I was really excited about the show, but I have to ask both of you what it means to bring such much needed representation in the genre, in the comedy genre, in the family comedy genre, so that families around the world can enjoy it.
I think this is huge for us, in such a big platform, like NBC and Peacock, like the fact that we're able to do this in such a smart way, because this is a show that's, yes, about Latinos, yes, primarily surrounded Latino voices, but it's for everyone, and that's the beauty of when you do comedy right, when you do art the right way, it's universal. And this show is universal. And I'm excited that we are telling it through Latino voices. There will not be, I don't believe, a family out there that won't say, oh, that's totally relatable. It's like a bridge. I feel like this show is going to really bridge a lot of people that maybe not necessarily know what Latino families look like, sound like, move like, and they're going to realize it's the same as their own families, and that's what I'm excited about as a Latina, as an Afro-Latina, as someone who's seen the industry change with time. It is joyous for me to be part of this type of show where we are flawed people, but we are also relatable. It's a relatable show with so much heart. And it's also wonderful that it is Latino voices, led by a Latina executive producer. It's exciting. It's an exciting time. And I know that for people like yourself and others, there's pride in that. There's pride in being able to recognize yourself on the screen.
Mm-hmm. And, in growing up and, when I played Little League, I didn't have a glove, and then I didn't, they would leave a glove in the outfield and everything was, I didn't have a ride. And sometimes my friends' moms would take me home and sometimes they'd be going in another direction and I'd walk. And then always feeling like, you weren't, nothing was ever really natural to me, and anything that I tried, and I just kind of worked through things. And the idea that I grew up watching, I Love Lucy, and I watched, Chico and the Man, and then I would get a chance to do it for the first time 20 years ago, but then also to be able to do it 20 years later and to have done it twice is to me, something that is just beyond whatever my imagination would have thought of. And then if you could say, what would you tell your younger self? Is just keep doing what you're doing, because whatever insecurities you have and whatever motivates you to be better is the thing that's going to make you better.
Lastly, before I let you go, the family comedy like shows and genre, it's just one of my personal favorites. My family introduced me to their versions. I get to bring them some of the new ones like this one. For both of you, what does it mean to be in that genre? And is there something you love most about it rather than just doing a basic comedy?
Oh gosh, I think that again, growing up, my family is so important to me. Latino culture, we're so connected to families, and then you start hearing other friends of yours, and you're like, yeah, family is important in general, like family, right? The nucleus is so important. So to be able to entertain with stories that are that literally have no barrier, right? Like everyone everyone knows what it is to have an overbearing mother. Everyone knows what it is to have that uncle. Everyone knows what it's like to, so the fact that we're able to entertain, to politically say things, using what I feel as a woman, a mother, is the most important thing to me is family. So the fact that we're able to bring that to light, and there's so many, this is like the gift that's going to keep on giving. The family is so layered with so many different characters that can come in and out. There is room to write forever and ever on this. You hear that?
Yes.
Room forever and ever.
I'm with her on this. Yeah.
True. There's so many nuggets. There's just, it's so loaded with like goodies. Every single family has hundreds and thousands of stories to be told. And so here we are, and we're able to do that with this show.
Yeah. I used to I used to walk by people's houses, and you would look in and you could see what they were watching on TV. They were watching, I remember in Mexico, the first time I saw I Love Lucy in Spanish, and they were speaking Spanish, and I was standing by this window watching, or watching, some of the shows that people would watch on Sunday nights and things. And then, one time I was in the car and I looked over and I could see into someone's house and they were watching my show. And it's that feeling all over again. And to be able to do it with all the right people, and all the people that you fall in love with, and all the people that become, family. Even now we feel like that there's a strong bond amongst all of us, and still connected to my first show too. So I'm blessed. I got the least amount of son, and then I'm the most blessed as an adult.
Love this. Thank you guys so much for speaking with me again. I can't wait to share this with my own family and for everyone around.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you
so much. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Fanboys, professional artists, and professors. Maybe a nerd who's just like you, talking about the things that you like too. So I invite you to the NOC. In full color, you see me. The hard knock life, comics, movies, and TV. screen, hit play, so check this.